level of this game because Jack's probably already in there. Like most Mario games, there's a very early stage that requires some pretty precise P-speed jumping. You saw him jump on that Koopa, get up top on the clouds. It's a little... It's kind of hard. It's not as hard as it looks, but that's basically going to be the theme for this game. Lots of precise P-speed jumps. P-speed kind of really gets its start in Mario 3. As long as you're basically running on the ground, the game checks every so often. And if you are running at full speed, the game says, oh, I'm going to light up this little arrow. And when you do get up to P-speed, you go ridiculously fast. It has a little bit of an interesting mechanic. Most people kind of joke about Mario World. You fly over the levels with the cape. Mario 3, actually the tail, the flying mechanic for this game is not something we usually want. That's because it just kind of drains the P-speed meter on us. So 1-3 and World 1 Fortress are going to be the two levels that we really go to here. World 1 has a fork after 1-2. 1-3, a lot of people kind of know this from way back in the day. If you duck on those white blocks for 5 seconds, you kind of go in the background. There's a warp whistle behind the exit to the stage. There's another one in the fortress that's going to be kind of the exception to our get a tail rule. Although the tail, not good for P-speed, but once you get into the World 8 auto-scrollers, maybe P-speed doesn't matter so much. So otherwise, what you're seeing here is just a lot of precise jumping. I know Jack's a little ahead of me here, so I'm kind of trying to predict the future to see if he gets this jump here. It is possible to kind of get that leaf and fly up to the whistle in one go, but if you miss it, not a big deal. It's still a pretty easy setup there to get up top. So from here, most people are pretty much aware that if you get 2 warp whistles in this game, you can go straight to World 8. The way the warp whistles actually work, if you use it in World 1, 2, or 3, you can go to either Worlds 2, 3, or 4. Actually, no, World 1 goes to 2, 3, 4. Worlds 2, 3, and 4 go to 5, 6, 7. Actually, Worlds 5 and 6 also go to the 5, 6, 7 track. Worlds 7, 8, 9 gives you access to World 8 itself. But whatever, that's all trivia that will only help you if you're doing an all-fortress race like they're doing at SGDQ this year. Anyway, World 8 is full of a lot of these auto-scrollers. A lot of people like to joke about how Randomizer cuts these out, and it actually does. Auto-scrollers do have a little bit of a boring notion to them, but these levels are kind of designed for it anyway. So basically the tank level is kind of sit back, don't get hit by these wrenches. I don't know why the kind of red ones don't respawn, but the orange ones in the later levels do. It's a tank. I think this is kind of the traditional time I'm supposed to ask Strizer if we had anything to say. Who are we plugging? Strizer will figure it out. The boss of the tank level is actually just the normal Boomerang brother when we get there. I think there's a couple more tanks before then. Oh my goodness, that is a very fuzzy cat. I can barely even tell where its ears are up there. I guess one thing I didn't really mention through the level, with a lot of these levels, there's a few spots where there can be too many enemies on the screen, whether it be from the moles throwing their wrenches or from bombs exploding, creating just a lot of sprites. So there's a little bit of lag management you can kind of do to just knock enemies out one way or another and get rid of them before they can put more things on the screen for the poor NES processor to handle. That's about it. There is also a fire flower at the start of the ship level. It's a real pain to grab. The main reason you want to get it as soon as possible is just fire killing boom booms, since every level in this every level except the first one that's a long auto scroller has a boom boom at the end of it. Boom booms will die in 5 fireballs in this game. Otherwise, it's 3 stomps. So the fireball saves a little bit of time, but that's really it. And there's plenty of fire flowers between here and the very end of the game where we are going to want one for Bowser. Also, shout outs to Jack for swimming underneath the ship here. Kind of a... I don't think it's little known anymore. I can't get away with saying that. The other important thing you want to do here on the ships, after that triple cannon, you want to kind of slide underneath that one tile gap, jump a lot. We call that boat swag. Jack didn't go for boat swag, so that's a bold move, dodging superstition like that. So unfortunately, I'm watching the run, and whenever I'm watching, basically the first hand always shows up. So there's no way in hell he's not going to get it. Basically, there's a bridge on the next screen, and there's 3 tiles along the way, and you have about a 50-50 chance on each one of getting a hand reach up and grab you. And there's kind of a sub-level there, and the first one involves a lot of Hammer Brothers. Kind of already sees gone past the Fire Bros, the normal Hammer Bros, the Boomerang Brother, the Sledge Brother, and there's a pipe at the end that leads to a leaf. There's other levels in here that go to Potabos and cheap kind of levels, like the old 2-3 in Mario 1. Nothing too exciting. Good thing we didn't see any of them. Instead, we're seeing the Air Force level. So the nice thing about the Air Force level, if you can call it nice, I guess, it scrolls at like twice as fast as any of the other auto-scrollers in the game. That does make it a little hectic. That's your kind of challenge level for this stage. It's pretty tricky to kind of keep your power-ups all the way through it, although having a tail does make it nice. You can kind of float through these jumps and tail these rocky wrenches. I forget what their name actually is. Having fire or another sort of weaponized Mario throws it power-up also kind of helpful, but then you can't float down these jumps. Fun fact about this, if you're a Mega Man 3 fan out there with screen wraps, I'm pretty sure this stage has one as well, because if you try and use a P-Wing to fly over it, you know, that item that lets you infinitely fly, if you try and stay low because you're thinking, aha, I'm a speedrunner, I'm going to stay a little lower than usual so I can land faster, there's a good chance you're going to get crushed by one of those things above the screen that should really exist. Anyway, here's 8-1. It's kind of widely known as one of the harder levels in this game. It does have some fire to help out, but there's just a lot of tight jumps and nooks and crannies. You're seeing him kind of duck through some of these one-tile gaps, dodging some bullet bills, and making these weird jumps at the end. I think it's one of the few levels in the game that requires you to jump on an enemy to clear a gap, or at least to kind of clear an obstacle in this case. And we got the 5-up. We missed it. We got a fresh 5-up for the Strizer Marathon here. Whew. Not something you actually want to get in a speedrun because it wastes time, but it's cool. Casually, I'm sure everybody here has done that. You go for the 5-up. Everybody celebrates. 8-2 actually is the return of the Angry Sun, or in the case of a Warpful run, the level with the Angry Sun. Taking a hit there, a little unfortunate, but not a big deal. Still clear the level, only went down with the 1 hit of damage. There is the sand trap you can go down early in the level to kind of skip all that, but it's slower. Like, I think you could have the level finished by the time you get there. 8 Fortress, we use the star to start out here. We get that star at the tank level, so you're always going to have it. And from there, there's an early Fire Flower. There's a few Fire Flowers in this level, including one at the very end. It's a little bit of a maze, but once you know this fortress, it's not that bad. The big thing here is once you hit the P-switch to try and reach the Boom Boom door in one go. Obviously, you don't want to have to wait on it again, because when you go through the door to Boom Boom, ooh, there's a conveyor belt there. And as long as the P-switch is active, because you need the P-switch active for the door to exist, the conveyor belt does not run. So, kind of have to wait this out here. Small Mario can make it through, but it's much faster to keep Fire Flower because we have now passed the last Fire Flower in the game. Bowser, much like Boom Boom here, can be killed by fireballs, and it's a lot faster than letting Bowser jump around his room and, you know, do the usual thing. But before that, we have the Super Tank. There are a lot of strats for the Super Tank. Most of them involve getting to the right edge of the screen. Surprisingly, because most of the time in auto-scrollers, you know, you don't want to be on the right edge of the screen. Something weird's going to come up. But there's really no RNG to this level. So you can see here, Streiser's just kind of riding the front edge of the screen, and he just missed that jump up there. It's unfortunate because, like I said, there's no more fire flowers in the game. There are these... There are some wrenches here. There's a lot of cannons the rest of the way. It's not that bad of a level, actually, as long as you stay on the right, because you can kind of see a lot of the crisscrossing shots like to stay in the middle of the room. So one more boom boom. Shouldn't be too hard. Jack is scaring me here with some of these jumps. I'm really hoping I'm about to see a boom boom kill. Bowser's Castle would have been the other place I would have said maybe use a star. Fortress is honestly a better place to use it to get past the I forget if they're world discs, roto discs, whatever the atomic waffles are in this game. The laser statues at the start of this level, not that bad, just kind of annoying. There's a clip here you can go for. I don't know how the duck clips work in this game personally, but it saves a little bit of time over going over the top. We do get to see the Everyman clip here, the People's clip, sometimes called. That little one-up clip that you saw a little while ago by now is one, even Nintendo Power Strategy Guide mentions it. It's probably one of the easiest clips to do in the game. If you haven't done it, try it at home. It's fun. So after that, the Bowser fight. This is the classic Mario 3 Bowser fight. You can't do anything to Bowser directly. There's no switch behind him. There's nothing to throw at him because we don't have fire or hammers. So Bowser's just going to kind of jump around the room, and the goal is to get Bowser to drill through the floor. Going this top route to Bowser is just a little bit faster than working down to the bottom route. Both sides would have had 3 layers of bricks. But here we go. Bowser's almost out of the way. Just a little more dodging here. Ooh. Down goes Bowser. So that is Mario 3 with warps. Good job. I don't know where Mario finds that mushroom between the Bowser fight and coming in here to talk to Peach, but there's Super Mario, and there's Peach to tell us that our princess is in fact in another castle. It's what a twist. I'm commentating like 30 seconds after it happened, so it's not funny anymore. But we'll find her one day.